This episode of the Ever Black podcast is brought to you by Death Wish Hot Rods and Customs. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Hey! Oh my God. Hey mate, how are you? How's your morning been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just,
Really?
Yeah,
Just chilling, waking up and getting set for the day.
Yeah, somewhat.
Great.
Yeah.
I tell you what, my BG is nowhere near as sick as your BG.
My BG.
Background. Look at that.
Oh, background. Yeah, I should be down with the lingo. Yeah, this is
Film term.
yeah, my nerd room. My studio slash
it's the
nerd room.
dungeon slash let's not go there. Okay.
Good to see you.
Mate. Great to be seen.
And your assistant too?
Oh, my beautiful assistant, yes.
Hello.
Jenny, my fiance. We just got engaged.
Did you? When?
Yeah.
Congrats.
About 6 weeks ago.
Legends. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's awesome. That is so
it's amazing. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
There won't be any little Scoobies though.
But there won't be any little Scoobies, no.
No.
That's we've had our pups in the past, and we're moving on. So it's just mate, second time around for both of us, and it's one of those situations where the wisdom of age brings you to a better place.
And you're going to gigs together. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. No, look, age is just numbers, isn't it? I mean, you can be an old 50 or a young 50. It depends, so,
True.
Up to you. Anyway, mate, great to be here. And I've checked out your podcast and so on. And it's a great little show you got going. So congratulations. Looking forward to what's coming up. Are you, you want to start recording now, or I've
already started. I do the thing where it's
started.
sneaky, and I don't tell people. I just let it roll in case we get. So then it just looks like people have sort of stepped into a bit of a conversation. So,
exactly, and haven't we just?
Yeah,
with a bit of BG background about me right there for the fans. So hello everybody. Great to be here, Neil Fanning, voice of Scooby Doo, and looking forward to seeing the fans and everybody coming along to Supanova coming up on November 5th and 6th at the Brisbane Convention Centre, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got a couple of panels that I'm going to be talking about voice work and also stunts, because I'm also a stuntman as well as an actor, and wear a few hats in the industry. So it should be a lot of good chat, good interesting information about film and TV generally, how we shot Scooby back in 20 years ago, because Nev, this is the 20th anniversary of Scooby Doo 1 being released in 2002, which was seems like yesterday, to be honest, and I haven't changed a bit. So what's going on there?
I know. Look at me. See, I have, because I remember I'm a Gold Coast boy. So
yes, me too. Me too.
Are you?
Yeah.
No,
I was I'm West Coast, west side of the highway, Mudgeeraba, Tallow, Wurrungree. That's my hood.
No way. See, I was a Labrador boy. Don't judge me.
Labrador.
You
nice.
And now I'm on the northern end of the Gold Coast, where
Coomera.
Around that area. Don't judge me.
Okay.
But
I'm not. I'm not gonna pin drop you so people can come and egg your house. So that's all good.
No. I'm not a hooligan. But mate, it's so good to talk to you, especially as you mentioned, you're going to be coming to Supanova, and I'm very, very excited because I respect your work, and I think you're incredible at what you do. But you know, you do a lot of cons,
Thank you.
meet a lot of people, and how's the experience?
It's look, mate, it's an honour. There's only been 5 people who have been authorised by Warner Brothers to perform Scooby Doo, the voice, and to be one of them is amazing. And an Australian, I get asked when I was doing the press back in the day. I did all the press rounds, and I went to both the premieres of Scooby 1 and 2 at Mann's Chinese Theatre on Sunset Boulevard, and did all the press. And they were just like, "Okay, how does an Australian get the voice of Scooby Doo? What's the story there?" And so I had to go through the whole story. And but we shot the first one on the Gold Coast, and it was Spooky Island, so it was very island based, and of course Spooky Island was Tangalooma. And we shot there for about 3 weeks. The experience since then has been really the gift that keeps on giving, because all I have to do is open my mouth and rags, raggy, monster.
Amazing.
People are like, yeah, amazing. Smiles on faces. Exactly. That's exactly what it keeps providing to me. And I love just the response. Your is a classic of all that sort of joy and excitement about it all. And so it's just been an absolutely perfect gig for somebody. I could have been the voice of a serial killer, and that's not good. But this Scooby, everybody knows it. It's multi-generational.
Yep.
And now, my kids, back when they were small, I've got 3 children, and I was really pleased when Scooby 1 was, or both of them, but Scooby 1 was made PG, because my kids could go and see it.
Yeah.
It was great for them to be growing up in that space as well, because I was working also at Warner Brothers Movie World at the time, in the Police Academy stunt show. So I actually did show number 1 at Police Academy Stunt Show on the 3rd of June 1991.
Wow.
And I was a pre-opening performer.
Yep.
So as I said, I wear a few hats in the industry. So primarily as an actor back then. So I was doing all the street shows, interactive comedy, doing all the characters. And then I started in the Police Academy Stunt Show as an actor. There's 3 or 4 roles as actors, and then the rest were stunties. And then after a couple of months, the stunt coordinator said, do you want to try out and do the stunts, because you're a bit more versatile then? And then, so I had a bit of a background in, I'd done gymnastics and water sports when I was younger, and driving. Just, look, I was a bogan, let's face it. I had an LJ Tirana back in the 80s. So it was, but we were responsible hoons. We didn't do anything radical. Yeah, no, we didn't speed around the streets. We actually went to a test track that we had at Archerfield in Brisbane, where I grew up, around the Archerfield aerodrome, and we used to race each other out there. So got a bit of driving skills through that. My brother was a mechanic, and he had a go-kart. So, I had a bit of driving ability, and that sort of led me down the stunt role. And then I got graded and so on. And then started working in film and television as a stuntie, mostly actually, because voice world is difficult. The opportunities are a bit limited. They virtually stay with a very select few people in this country, voice-wise. So every industry is quite small. We all kind of know each other, and voice-wise, at the time, I was just doing, because I was a voice artist for about 7 years before I got Scooby Doo, and all that story sort of started to come because I got the voice reader's role as Scooby on the movie. So it kind of went from there. And at the time, it was the biggest gig for a voice artist in this country. To be doing that.
Heck. What roles did you do prior to Scoob? Like voice roles.
In voices, you mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of background voices. So at the time there was a recording studio out the front of the studios at Warner Brothers on the Goldie, and that we were revoicing Australian actors who maybe sometimes their American accent wasn't quite up to scratch or whatever. Maybe it wasn't the right tone that they wanted. So because of the movie world experience, there was a lady there who knew me from that, and we worked together in corporate entertainment. And she said, "Oh, I've just got this gig as a vocal director. Do you want to come across and do some voices, background voices in some TV series?" And back then it was Lost World, Beastmaster, and Space. All those, Queen of the Damned. All these movies from this is mid '90s to late '90s. So I was revoicing all those characters, and then I started, getting doing more in. Got a show reel and sort of went down the road of voices as another hat to wear, because, if you're just going to be an actor, you're probably going to make a few coffees.
Yeah.
Happens. The opportunities just are a bit limited. And so you got to have strings to your bow to just be an entertainer in this country. And so I just thought, go down this road, and then it all sort of spawned from there.
Mate, incredible. Talking about Supanova, though, are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward, mate? I've got the Saturday mornings. Let me back that one up. So, so who are you looking forward to? Meeting. Is there anyone at Supanova that you're either old mates with, or someone that you've respected in the industry yourself?
Well, John Jarrett's somebody who I've always loved his work. So he's someone I'd definitely like to meet. But there's a lot of people around the cosplay world and comic book people and authors and things that I've known of, that I'm looking forward to meeting. There's a real great range of celebrities that are coming along to this event. So I urge everybody to, if you're interested in this, coming along, you're going to meet some amazing people, because the cast that they've gathered for both Brisbane and Adelaide now to wrap up this year, and then the dates are already out for next year's Supernovas as well. It's pretty impressive, and I mean, there's a cavalcade of great people to meet. So we're all going to be sort of hanging out in the green room. There's some VIP events on Saturday night. There's an event that I think people can come along to if they want to jump on the website and have a look there. And of course, we're all going to be available after our panels to sign things for people. If you want to get a photo with me, I'd love to get a photo, have a chat. I'm doing videos as well, so if you want me to do a happy birthday to Nev, because
I can do that for you. Weekend.
No way.
It is my birthday weekend, and I'm just gonna. Hey, I feel like I owe you a few bucks now.
Well, happy birthday for the. Is it the 5th?
It's the 3rd, but I'm celebrating.
But look, close enough. November 3rd. All right. Happy 21st, man.
Actually, add 20 years to that. But
no way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm really keen. Of course, I want to come meet you in person, not just through the screen,
please,
but also
absolutely
as well.
Michael Bain, yes, he's another one. Terminator, come on.
Man.
It's like I say, the cast that they've put together, there's too many to mention, because it's you don't want to leave anyone out. Yes, there's some amazing people that are going to be coming along. Other voice artists as well. I don't know if there's any stunt people, so I'm not sure of the who I'm going to be with on the panels. But that's an opportunity to come along, ask questions, and I'll be talking about how they actually made Scooby back in the day. A little bit of this is the reference that we had coming in. So I was the voice reader, and so, whoops, did it again. Boom.
You're back.
I'm back. Stop. I'm a hand guy. I'll use my hands. And so back then, they actually asked the voice guy at the time who was doing the cartoons, do you want to come out to Australia and voice read for us? We're doing a live action film. You'll be on set. 8 cameras here. You're here talking to the characters in character and in the voice. And he went, no, I'll just do the final cut. Huh, okay, no worries. We'll get a local. So they auditioned around Australia, and that's how I got that role, to be the voice reader. It was a very exhausting audition process, and so got on to do that, and yeah, it was amazing, and just went from there.
How was it working with Matthew Lillard? Like, that dude's one of my heroes, hey?
Yeah, Matt's great. I mean, we virtually worked together for about 2.5 years. And yeah, look, fantastic. I mean, I worked with Matt most, of course, because, Scooby and Shaggy in every scene. And so we got on really well. And him and his wife, Heather, became really good friends, and amazing to work with. And, he was, when he's looking at Scooby, he was acting to me, and it was a real privilege to see him work. Super creative. He had a lot of ideas, and we workshopped a lot of ideas about how we would do certain scenes with the director Raja, who did both the movies. So there's real consistency of casting. A lot of the heads of department went on to the second one, so that was good. But yeah, Matt was amazing, and I mean, what a body of work. Still working, of course, and Scream and so on. He's a legend, and whenever I go to hang out with him in LA, it's a different experience because nobody knows me, and so I kind of like that. Walk down the street, it's fine. But when I walk down the street with Matt, yeah, we get stopped and all that stuff, and that's fine because he's so good with the fans, and he's such a giving person, and super funny, and we went to the UK together to promote the DVD release of Scooby Doo 2 back in 2004, and did some TV shows and hung out for a couple of weeks, and it was great to spend a bit of time with him over there as well. So I'm always welcome at his home in LA, and I hope to see him again soon.
I'm a massive fan of a movie he made called SLC Punk.
Yes. Well, there was 4 or 5 shows that Freddie Prinz and Matt did together, and they became very, very good friends. They did the baseball movie, and there was a whole series of movies that they went into together. And Freddie actually was the one who suggested Matt for Shaggy to the producers, because they were having a dinner sometime, and then I said, well, there's your Shaggy right there, and it just went from there. So and absolutely perfect, wasn't he, for the Shaggy? Yeah, absolutely nailed the voice, and the whole character was just you couldn't imagine anyone else doing it. Is one of those iconic roles that that he's really happy with as well, because that's a great legacy to leave. Having people loving your character and what you did with it.
Absolutely, you guys are like the dream team. And you know what's awesome is now I can take my kids to Movie World because we've got the passes, and your voice is there on the Scooby Doo
on the ride.
I mean, that
it is
not many people that get the chance to actually say that they've voiced an iconic character, but also part of a ride, an iconic ride.
And it's a really good ride. I mean, it's still there. It's going to be there forever, I'm sure, because it hits the buttons of being not too scary, not too, it's. And I actually opened the ride because they coincided the opening of the ride with the premiere of Scooby Doo 1, and then so. I was there at the premiere, and I cut the ribbon, so that was pretty special because I worked there as well. It was great to come back, and everybody was all the cast in show and entertainment department were pretty excited about what I'd sort of done. And it's when one of your team does well, you share in the success. So that was lovely to go back there and do all that.
Hey, that is so good. That is so cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so for me it was like Scooby Doo was a pretty big deal. We had Agro's Cartoon Connection, and a lot of the kids don't remember Boris's Breakfast Club.
Boris.
Boris was my hero, man.
Let's see. What was his name? Eric Summers.
That's it. I was only talking
Eric
with a
Summers.
friend of mine about, because she goes, oh, he does little bits and pieces around, you should come meet him one time. And I said I couldn't, because I would probably break down and cry, because
Lose it?
I would, because I've got a photo with him from when I was like 3 years old, and he was like
amazing,
like my hero. But that's where I first saw Scooby Doo, and I had, I think it was a kindy costume thing. My mum and I made this really dodgy Scooby Doo costume, and it was more like a Scooby Don't, but it's such a for dudes, not just my generation, but generation before that and generations moving forward, that Scooby is such a it's so iconic, and you probably meet a lot of fans from all ages, from all different generations, want to talk about Scooby. But what was your first What was your first introduction to the Mystery Inc. crew?
Yeah, great question, Ev. It was obviously when I was so I'm a 67 model, and so Scooby Doo first appeared in 66, and so I grew up obviously with Saturday morning cartoons, and in the afternoon session, and that's when Scooby was on, and everybody loved Scooby. I mean, there was a plethora of cartoons, the Warner Brothers cartoons and Hanna-Barbera at the time, but everybody was Scooby was definitely on everyone's playlist, and so I started watching it from then, and and he's just such a lovable character that, I mean, everyone loves their dog, of course, and he was so, goofy and playful, and he, it was everyone's sort of first introduction to horror, to being scared, and it was very formulaic as it ran through. So you knew at certain points, okay, they're going to do the plan, and they're going to split up, and there was all these things that always went through every cartoon. It was the same story, but a different setting, which is familiar to everybody. But you sort of never knew, what's Scooby going to get caught up in, and Shaggy going to get caught up in, and who's going to be the janitor is going to reveal his mask and all those things. And so that they took all those tropes and they put them into the first movie, and more in the second movie, actually. I obviously loved Scooby as a kid, and then as I got older, my voice was just suited to that tone, and as an actor, I sort of start with the voice if I'm going to create a character, and then it goes from there. So, it was just a voice that I'd always done for a long time, and really enjoyed doing, and it was fun, and turned out to be pretty spot on in the end. But also did Scrappy, like had this interplay. Put him up, I'll rock him, and I'll suck him. Puppy power. We're all Rappy. We're all that. So, and so I actually voiced Scrappy on Scooby Doo 1 as well, at live. But actually, the guy I beat to get Scooby 1, the American guy, he did Scrappy in the end for the final cut. But he really only had one scene. So, but they Scrappy as a character wasn't very popular with the fans, because he three's a crowd. Scooby and Shaggy, cool. But when they created Scrappy, and he as Scooby's nephew, was like, this is a bit it's not really, the dynamic changed, and so the fans weren't really digging Scrappy, and so really the end goal for Warner Brothers was to actually kill off Scrappy forever. So he will never be seen now, that because he was the bad guy, obviously.
Yeah.
Scooby One.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, too soon. And in Rowan Atkinson's guise, of course, and another legend to work with as well. I mean, it's been, that experience of being on set was amazing because I got to work with Rowan. Him and I were the only actors called for a whole day, which was in the office scene, and it was absolute pleasure to work with a real legend in Rowan Atkinson. So
love his cars too. You would have
his cars, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You would have bonded over cars, eh?
We did. But he's a really he's not a jokey guy. He's a very serious, professional, super professional. And every movement, everything he did was well thought out. Just absolute pleasure to be acting back to Rowan.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, I don't know how much time we got, but I've got a million questions for you. I'm going to try and cram it to one. But
right, go. You go. I'll stop talking.
No. I love it. But of course, there was another talking about horror. You did a movie called Ghost Ship, which is like I think is one of the most underrated horror movies that I love that movie. I don't know. But you did stunts for that, right?
Yes. So the opening scene where I did a few things. I died a few times on that show, as you do as stunties. Is try and do everything not looking at the camera, because you can play another character down the track. But yeah, in the beginning, another spoiler alert. They get chopped in half. I mean, that's the catalyst for the film, and so we did all that. And as stunties, there was probably, I don't know, 20 of us on the dance floor there, and had to do all those falls and so on. At the time, lots of blood and special effects and things, but great show to work on, and as you say, underrated film. So check it out, folks. Check it out. Ghost Ship, filmed at Warner Studios and on the Gold Coast, and in the surrounds you'll see places that you might recognise as locations. Yeah,
I got woken up one morning, middle of the night. They had the set over the Broadwater, where SeaWorld is, and I was literally living over in Labrador. No judgment, but I lived over there, and the lights from that were so bright that it lit up my whole entire street.
Yeah, right.
Like, what the hell's going on? We drove around, and man, there's this big ship and stuff like that. And then I was like, I need to
do a night shoot.
It was cool, man. That was really, and there's been heaps of stuff on the Gold Coast. Like there was another movie you did called The Great Raid, which I was an extra in for months, and you look familiar. Yeah. It was great. It was just over here in Pimpamar. Best gig I had. It was free food, but we had to stay skinny because we were PWs. And what did you do on that one? Yeah, that was cool.
Great Raid. Look, played a multitude of different soldiers, and I think I got killed about 4 or 5 times on that show as well. Basically basic explosions going off and falling, running. I think I did a jerk back on that one. Anyway, look, different stunts as you go through your career. You just do all sorts of different things with a variety of different danger levels. But essentially, everything you do in stunts is potentially dangerous. But it's the amount of training you do, and working under the stunt coordinator, and being able to replicate what you're doing many times, because you're going to do that many times, because they're going to shoot from different angles and you have to do the stunt over and over again. So making sure that you can, after you do your stunt, you can get up and walk away and do it again, and not be injured. That's the goal, and that's you get that through training and experience, and working with the coordinator to make sure that things are done safely and within the bounds. So it's not just I want to be a stuntman. I've crashed a few cars. No, it's the point is not to crash the car. We all sort of specialize in different things in stunts. So there's 5 areas of stunts that you need to be qualified in. That's heights, fights, fire, animals, vehicles. So I'm a vehicle sort of specialist, precision driver, with the Police Academy Stunt Show, and I was 15 years there, and then did on-track driving high-speed entertainment for Indy for 4 years in a row. And then I went back actually and drove in the Hollywood Stunt Driver Show for 2 or 3 years. Just recently, I just finished there in 2016, just for a bit of fun. So that was nice, because I hadn't done much drifting. So I got Warren Luff was the show director there, and supercar driver, and so he was fantastic in helping me get up to speed with drifting. And there's some legends in that area as well. Corey Creed, gold medalist for X Games, motorbikes, and all these people just have these amazing skill sets that you get to work with, which is pretty incredible. And hanging out with those guys, and Showtime FMX, they do all the stunt riding around the country at the Sydney Royal Show, and they're the top of the tree there. So you get to work with some pretty amazing people.
Worked with Jackie Chan, didn't you?
Yeah. Back a fair while ago, he did First Strike in Brisbane, and Jackie Chan's and his stunt team, they were pretty full on. They would do anything for Jackie. If you were part of his team, you were held in extremely high regard within your cohort. He was amazing to work with. And this is when he was probably at the peak of his career, to be honest. A few more years later, he started doing more comedies and things. But I mean, what a history of films, and another legend, that you can say you worked with. So pretty cool.
So what are you working on now? Because you've been you in Brisbane working on something at the moment too? Is that right?
Yeah. Working on a show for Netflix called Boy Swallows Universe. It's a popular book by Trent Dalton, and they're making an 8-part series about it. So we're shooting in and around Brisbane and the Gold Coast, mainly in Brisbane, it's going to be coming up on Netflix in the very near future. So it's looking great, looking fantastic. So I'm safety supervising on that one, and I did some stunt driving this week actually on it. Just staying in the industry. I like the family aspect of crew. Having good film crews generally are very military in their setup. So it's all these different departments working together for one cause, and for them it's the victory, but for us it's that little piece of celluloid that comes out, and if someone doesn't do their job, it doesn't sell to the audience. So it's got to be everyone working together, and they're very skilled professionals in their own right, in their own departments, and we all work long hours and hard, to get that result for everybody. And at the moment, Nev, it's very, very, very busy. So if you wanted to get it in the film industry, now's the time, because there's so much.
I want to get into the voice side of things, because I'm a vocalist. Outside of here, I do.
Do you? Okay.
A lot of
singer.
Death metal, but I can do other things as well. So that's I'm going to be looking forward to in the new year. I think I'm going to have a look into that, and that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing you talk about it at Supanova. Of course, is that side of things, and the vocal work and of course your tips on all that.
Sure. Look, I'll be expanding on all these things at the panels. Supanova coming up November 5th and 6th, Saturday, Sunday. Come and see me. Come and see us all. It's going to be a great day. Brisbane Convention Centre. Get down there. It's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there.
It's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait to come and meet you in person. And I will have all the links down here, as I usually say. Neil, thank you so much for hanging out on a Saturday morning before a gig. You're going to go see some rock and roll, man.
Yeah, going to a bit of a music festival today, and hopefully it's not going to rain too much. But hey, we'll be moshing out and having fun together. So, yep. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me, man. Look forward to seeing you on the day.